that when he did happily. My name is Melissa Delaney-Doliner, and I am the founder and executive director of the MIP Foundation. The MIP Foundation is a nonprofit that I started to help support teenagers and young adults gain access to mental health support and services. I developed the MIP Foundation to work towards bridging the gap between a cancer diagnosis and the mental health support services that you need to get through that. The MIP Foundation has 3 pillars that we like to focus on: empowerment, engagement, and connection.
For the adolescent or teen and young adult populations, we're trying to provide mental health support for them or psychosocial support for them. We're trying to give them tools so that they can cope with all of the things that they're going to be going through with their cancer journey. And then we also try to provide some semblance of normalcy for them so that they're just not defined by their cancer.
In a pediatric setting, sometimes AYAs get lost. In the eyes of an AYA, they're not kids and they're not adults. And even as they transition into the adult world, their needs are so different.
Going into a pediatric facility, everything from how the rooms are designed, the toys that are available to the patients are going to be dolls and Tonka trucks and things that are geared towards the younger population, which is great and it should be there, but it doesn't necessarily create a space where a teen would feel seen.
Our adolescents and young adults are so unique in their need for support during a cancer diagnosis. Pause a minute and think back to being a teenager and then complicate the fabric of that by a bomb going off in your life and you're being told you had cancer. The MIP Foundation was actually started the very first night my son was diagnosed with cancer. He was sent to the emergency room and an oncologist came into our room in the emergency department and shared with him directly that he has cancer. And then the next thing he said is that, but it's okay, you're a most important person. And I made a joke, oh, see, you're a MIP. It's gonna be okay. You're a most important person. And that word stuck with him throughout that entire time where we'd be like, okay, you're the most important person. And it really helped us to focus on him finding his voice in his treatment and being a part of the process of his own journey. The MIP message became more serious the second time Colin was diagnosed with cancer because mental health and wellness became much more serious. So we knew that equipping him with lifelong skills to manage his diagnosis is very important. It ended up having to be that he needed the mental health support to understand that he wasn't going to survive cancer. And through our MIP Foundation journey, we have lost over 25% of the kids that we're supporting. And for Colin, our family, there was a lot of peace and understanding that he was able to make the decision to be removed from life support. He fully communicated that he was done. Without the mental health support to be equipped to empower himself through those decisions, I don't know that he would have had that final peace. The MIP Foundation started because of Colin. It's become so many MIPs and so many voices and so many different teenagers that feel seen and supported in his honor and legacy. MIP kits are our flagship program and they're individualized to the AYA that's been nominated for them. We look at their individual situation and what it is that they need to have to feel supported in their cancer diagnosis, to develop coping skills and tools, but also really importantly to be seen as a person separate from cancer.
In that time of my diagnosis, it felt very much like that was my life and this is who I am. And with my kit, I was reminded I do like to crochet and I do like to read and I like my bubbles and I like these little things. It was tailored to me. Kind of brought my spark back a little bit, what I thought was missing, and just getting a step out of the cancer bubble for a second and realizing, here's Jackie, like, don't forget about her.
I'll never forget actually the day that she got the MIP kit because her face lit up like I hadn't seen in a really long time. That kit basically said, I see you and you're supported.
Some of my favorite things from the MIP kit were the coloring books because it gave me something to look forward to during the long days of CHOP.
We at the MIP Foundation have to be very intentional about what is going in those boxes because there are some things that are not going to be allowed just based on what is safe and healthy for the patient. My role is to provide insight and advice onto what specific items or products would be appropriate in a medical setting.
The MIP Foundation helps provide such an incredible service to a population that is often overlooked. And so we think about programming and we think about things like trivia and other social engagements where we can bring adolescents and young adults together to just not even necessarily have to talk about their cancer, but to be in the same space. We also have been trying to teach awareness about coping skills.
As an AYA, I would say it was difficult in a sense because I saw so many young kids, I saw babies there. It was kind of hard on me because I was like, oh my gosh, I'm a teenager, but there's so many babies out there. Even though I'm going through something rough, I know that.
That's okay.
Emotions-wise, I barely talked about my emotions because I was a teen, so I was I don't need to talk to anyone. Teenagers are just trying to do it themselves, and chemotherapy you can't really do that.
MIP helped bring her back to a sense of normalcy. It's not just about what was given to her. It did make her feel like the most important person. It helped us too as parents. We don't have all the answers when your child's going through this. There's no playbook. I think it helped a lot. Sorry.
I always talk about MIP and how important they are to teens going through cancer, their mental health, connecting them with other teens who are going through similar things.
Before I met Abby, I was living my life like a normal teenager would and with brain cancer. But once I knew her, I feel I was understood more. She understood my struggles. I understood her struggles. We got each other.
People often ask how they can help us. Donations are the biggest support. We then turn them into something unique and individualized.
Monetary contributions are helpful just because the MIP Foundation has really identified and found a way to meet the needs of the AYA community.
To find out more about what the MIP Foundation does and to view our programming and our amazing MIPs, head over to our website, www.themipfoundation.org.